Let's create your agreement template because we all know that we don't work without an agreement. So you can start here in agreements and start with your templates. If you have already been in Moxie for a little bit and you created a template, you've already created an agreement, you can actually save that as a template. But we're going to assume here that this is a brand new thing. So we're going to create your invoice or your agreement template. So we call agreements proposals and contracts and quotes. Those are all housed here within agreements. So we're going to create a template. You can start from our template library. We're going to start from a new template. I always encourage folks to take a look at proposal because it comes with the most things kind of by default. So you can see what is available to you when you go to create your agreements. So you can always remove things. So I always say start with proposal. That's where we're going to start. So here is what an agreement can look like. Now, this is all totally customizable. Make it look like your brand and kind of the feel you want to have in your agreements. But if you were like, man, I really just wanted this to be done for me, it's a good place to start. So this is, we've got kind of images and logos. You have text here that is tokenized. So again, this is your template. So it's going to pull from data in different places because this is just the template. So this is the agreement. So this is going to pull from the agreement that's being created here. This account, that is you. So it's going to pull from your account information that you've added in your profile. This is the client information. So you can pull all of the client information that's mapped in Moxie as well as any custom fields that you've added for your clients. If you're using the pipeline, these are in reference to the opportunity that you're working with. And again, there's custom fields there as well. And then this is going to reference the amount that is going to be paid in this invoice. So if you have an upfront total, you have an upfront with card processing, you have your one-time total and your recurring total. So let's say you are sending out like, this is a recurring fee from my project, then you could use this recurring total. If you're just doing a flat fee, you can do this one-time total. So all of those tokens can be used here as you go to text. We also have our assistant. So you can say, hey, here's stuff from my discovery call. Please summarize that and add it here. It will write that up for you. You can tweak it. You can change its tone slightly, just like you can with every other chat assistant. And then it will add that here in your agreement. We're going to come back to this, I promise. We've got here, this is your payment plan. So you can pull a payment plan directly into your invoice and show your client, hey, here's what you're going to pay me and when you're going to pay it to me. And if you choose for this to be upon signing, so this one is upon signature, then it's going to show like, hey, you have to pay this amount right now in order to even sign this. And I've got my secure link to pay out here from Stripe. So if you have a Stripe connection, you can pull in your integrated payment block here. Here's what it looks like. It's going to have them put in their credit card on signing. So that way you get paid right away and right up front. You can embed a discovery call. So again, instead of having to chase down a bunch of things, you can say, hey, if you're going to sign this thing, let's book that first call right away. And then we have your contract terms. If you click on these terms, you may not be a lawyer. We'll just say you probably aren't, unless you are, in which case, hooray. You can edit these terms over here with some easy to understand language. So if you're not going to pass your credit card fees onto your client, you can uncheck that box and it will pull that language out of your contract. You have license to framework, you have a display your work in portfolio. Again, if you're not doing portfolio type work, you can pull that out and we'll just pull that language out that's been created for you. If you do want to just write your own or you have some things that you want to add into this contract, you can do convert to editable text and then you can just treat this like a text box. And then we have your e-signatures. So you're going to pull in your signatures and then you'll want to add who's going to sign this. So when you go to add your signers, again, this is my template. So I'm just going to have myself right now. But when I go to add this and send it to a client, you can have your client's signature here as well. So I'm going to add myself here. I can sign this with my title. and I can sign my template. So now when I go to send this template, it will be signed already, and the client just has to sign and agree. Okay, so that is all of the elements that you can click and drag. So these are all widgets. You can use these to change your layout. You can click and kind of drag these things into your box here. I said we were going to come back to this. This is your service package. So this is where all of your fees and the projects are going to be created. So these are using some tokens here. So we're going to take a look at this package by clicking on the settings here. So I'm going to say, here is my package name. We'll call this web services for a nice generic title. I'll have a fixed price. We're going to charge a little bit more for that. You can change the button text. And then I also have some add-ons here. So let's say I want to allow people to choose. And I can upsell you on this other really awesome thing. You can add in this optional add-on, and then you'll see these toggles like this where they can turn on and off what they want to have here. I can also add multiple packages. So if you have two packages and you want your folks to decide what they're going to choose, you can add in a second package. And then here, when you go to your package pricing, you will see I've got here that they can select a single package or multiple packages. So in that case, it would be like, oh, I have this web services package and I also have a social services package. And you could allow them to select both. Or if you want them to choose, like, hey, you could pay this amount over time, or you can get a discount and pay this other flat fee amount. You can kind of offer that here, and they could choose one of those packages. You can make that required. You can change the layout to be stacked or in a row. And you can also add multiple service packages. So if you have like a main package here that you want them to choose, maybe by pricing, you could do that. And then you could add in a second row of services and say, oh, and here's another extra thing that you could add on if you wanted to. And then I would make this package maybe not required, and they could just choose a second package there. That is the main bits of your agreement. There's also, you can change your style. You can have it be responsive if you have a lot of folks who are looking at this on mobile. You have your settings here where they can, this can automatically create the projects and invoices. So if you chose not to include your invoice on the agreement, we can still create an invoice for you and either send it on your behalf as soon as they sign, or you can review it and send it on your own. You have a couple of redirect and confirmations here that you can update as well. And you can add reminders. So you can choose, hey, after a set amount of days, I want this proposal to be void. You can set an expiration, and you can also add in reminders along with chosen email templates to say, hey, don't forget, we have that agreement that we've been working with. Don't forget to take a look at it and sign it. So you can add those in right here natively in your agreement. And then click save. And now we've got your agreements all ready for whenever someone says, hey, that sounds really great. Send over your agreement. Now that doesn't have to induce panic. You have got it.